Clive, it's your platform, sir. Educate me about what you do. But if I catch up, I'll tell you. If I'm not, I'll stop you.
Dumelan Legai Sanbonani. How are you guys? My name is Clive Bean, and that's a stage name, or what we call a pseudonym. Real name, Clive Mufukeng. I'm originally from Vosloorus, the East Rand. I was born in those years. A friend of mine that I met in varsity, Buso, was working in town, DJ vinyl accessory store, and Saturdays they needed someone, so I was like, started working there on Saturdays, doing their stock take and stuff. That shop was called Sugar Tracks, which 2 years later got renamed Soulcandi. So that's how we start Soulcandi. So Soulcandi starts in 2001. Around 2007, we started the Soulcandi Institute of Music, which was more teaching digital music. We realized that most of the kids today, they don't take music traditionally. They don't go to universities. They get a laptop or a computer, download softwares and stuff around, and create what we call electronic dance music today. We start breaking down these softwares, Reason, Cubase, and make them and turn them into modules, design them into modules. We started an informal school that ran for probably 5 years as Soulcandi Institute of Music until in 2012-11, Boston Media House bought our content. So they certified us. We're like, yeah, now we are legit. So we got accredited by SAQA. And then we started writing more courses, music business being one of them, DJ 101, DJ 102, and our flagship was, and still is, music production, which is a 1-year course with 5 modules. So where does it start? Firstly, you need to properly know and understand what it is that you're doing as a DJ. So your technical aspect needs to be covered. Practically, why you press pause, why skip, why you cue a track here. There's politics that we have today. I'm a piano, deep house, that garbage. I call it garbage. That's the mambo jumbo that pisses me off. Every time I go on Facebook, I'm like, we are not empowering each other. We are just distracting each other. That is so sick. That is so stupid. Now, if you say you love music, irrespective. You can't even segregate it. You don't have a choice. You just love this shit. It's like, whoa, I love music. So you need to go back into the history of electronic, especially electronic music. So look at, where does it start? Disco music. If you don't know about it, go research what is disco music. Your mom used to dance to it a lot. So disco music formalizes what we know as discotheques, or what formerly used to be called clubs. So our clubs are calling our disco. So if you look at the 70s and the 80s, the gay movement in your Philadelphia's, in the US, Chicago, where house music is born, that's where disco is. So it progresses and gives birth to 2 styles: disco rap and house music. Disco rap is what is hip-hop today. They're both born almost the same time, 82, 83. We need to monetize our creative skills, and feedback into the economy, re-empower ourselves so that we can empower our brothers and stuff. So that's what I'm talking about the academics. 20 minutes is way too short, but hopefully we'll be having more of these engagements. I hope Bowexi, Labona, maybe we'll have another one in 3 months, whatever case.
But then again, Clive, there's social networks for you that you can give your handles and
those things.
And all
I'm
of
not
that,
really much active on Facebook. I took a sabbatical, could be toxic. But you can find me on Facebook at Clive Bean, Wa Africa, or Clive Bean, or Clive Bean. So there's 3 of them. There's a profile page, band page. There's Clive Bean personal page, and that Clive Bean Africa is also another personal page. I'm on Instagram as a Clive Bean. I'm on Twitter as a Clive Bean. I'm on Tumblr as a Clive Bean. I'm on SoundCloud as Clive Bean Africa. I'm on Mixcloud as Clive Bean Africa. Okay, so any questions?
Yeah, we open the floor to questions. Anything that you need to know about what Clive has covered, or anything outside of that where you just feel good, this is the right guy. He spoke about equipment, he spoke about imaging, he spoke about registration. I know there's something, Clive, that happens, especially like us. I've heard cover versions where I'm a piano all of a sudden segunengoma Djs Nova, but a piano version.
I think that's exciting.
That's
I
exciting.
think that's amazing.
But have they engaged Djs Nova? Do we know the legalities and all of that? But I think this is going to be a spill-off to the record label.
Let me answer that question quickly. In the 80s, we used to have what we call bootlegging. You house DJs know about bootlegging. That thing will persist past the end of time. Creativity is something that is evolutionary. You know, stealing of ideas and reinventing them to suit you. Now, the cool thing about that, the governments all over the world, they put stipulations, acts and laws, you know, publishing, copyright, you know. So if I'm gonna take Djs Nova's track and I strip it up and do something, I'm not gonna monetize it. I'm not gonna make money out of it. The problem is when you start making money out of it, because you stole someone's idea and you made it yours, you know. But there are laws also that allow people to do remixes so that now it's legal. So Chama Music remixes Pinaya at Jazz, and so that it could be monetized. So it's not gonna stop. We shouldn't even try to stop it. Even like piracy, we shouldn't even try piracy. We should use piracy to our advantage. Pirate your own stuff. You know, I always say, like, if you don't want your stuff to be pirated, get to the guy that pirates CDs first. More buy CDs out before you can make a copy. Buy CDs 5 rand. He'll be like, okay, there's no point of me banning CDs of this thing. They're here already. You understand? So it's almost like a mind frame that sometimes we need to change. But Sama Piano, nah, I'm for it actually, as much as it's wrong in terms of the legal aspects, you know, but there is some culture that's been persisting for years before us. I've answered that one.
I'd like to find out, now of late, especially with the producers that are actually releasing music, they tend to have disputes in terms of a song, you know. I create the song, and then I create a song with you next to me, and then we're now in okay, Kenya this, there, and stuff. All right, and then after that, when the song becomes big, then it becomes big Kalibitola Clive Bean, not in my name, and then we have a fight. So I just wanted to find out the procedure in terms of that, on how to fix that, because we hear politics and fights all over regarding that.
What are you saying, Mokaba Kanal? Anyway.
Okay.
What I've just made, you know?
Okay.
And then because I'm your friend, I'm like, hey, and then when I give you the song to go and play it, then you go and register.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. When you do a track as a producer, and normally before you can give someone a track to even listen to it and play it, you do what we call mix editing and mastering. So to make it sound nice, so that it is palatable to someone who's listening. So if you give me this track, I'm hoping that you've registered that track with Sambro. But I hope you're now, as a producer, you have an account, a Sambro. You're an artist, you're a recorder, you're a producer. Because that's another thing. If it's not registered. It's like a car that drives around the streets here with no registration. It's open for all. You can steal it and go register it. I know my paper. You register. I mean, I'm getting it by they come with fake papers from Maharaj shop there in corner, what, and take your track, which is your car. Paraphrase. Okay, so now, if your track is not registered, it's open for all. Okay, that's one. So legally, you are not protected. Okay, so if you give your friend a track that is in those statuses, the guy plays the track, he takes it into his studio, he strips the track down, or he replays the track, I register, I release and they sign you. On a case, boy. Unga rapper go Facebook, expose, another way, try to make him feel like otherwise. You don't have a case legally. Okay, the other one is when I step in your studio and you so dealing a track, then you're editor, you're pressing something. By legal terms, that's called co-producing. I'm told. I've worked on it, so I have legal rights of certain parts of that song. I created those things. That's when we get into an agreement, which you will co-produce. You know, Maporisa and Kabza. Good example. You know, one day is the producer. Guma piano, obvious. Kabza is the producer. Ooh, Maporisa. Okay, so wait on. So now, if I'm a co-producer and we start arguing when the money comes in, it's always the case when the money comes in. Hey, I'm the track. Mina yeah, makanana kenze muna ushukthini. Lo ngazongitshela ngizokunikeza 10,000. No, then we fight. We probably don't even have a fight that won't stand in court because none of us registered, have no agreement, nothing. So it also goes back to these companies that are there to register us, Bosampro, Bosampra, you know, are you affiliated? What register? You know, these squabbles could end before they even start if people could just do the simple, register your ass. You know, whether the song is good or bad, Sampro is not there to say, hey, this track sounds like trash, so you're not going to register it. That's not their job. Their job is to register those tracks. It's called intellectual property.
We just wrap it up. We take one question.
Okay, Clive, one question also. Kubza is a producer of the track, and I'm the DJ. But now, when the song is out there, I write it as DJ Bafana featuring Kubza. How does that work?
Okay, that's the very popular phenomenon. So you got a friend who makes tracks, mara atuma, who do la kamring. Amna mtamtsiva, we're not DJs kemshi. Bouts everywhere. Natalie Huwe, Gupi Huwe. Then you play a track, then you get big about that track, and then you release it, you make money. It's called ghost production. It's absolutely wrong, but it's also absolutely right because it's done in the US and they acknowledge it. America will acknowledge it. Jay-Z doesn't produce, guys. You know that. Jay-Z doesn't make beats. He uses ghost producers. Sometimes he credits them, sometimes he doesn't. When he wants to own a track, at money track, $50,000 US, at $100,000 US. Shut up. Avai. But who's a creditor? At the beat by. Who's the producer? Jay-Z. That's Coast Production. Okay. Now in this country, how they do it is DJ X, who's big, who's been playing for 20 years, but cannot produce to save a fly's life. All of a sudden, you're a producer, and then he releases music. Now that's how it's wrong. Because he doesn't pay most of the time, nor acknowledge those artists, you know. But if the producer went to Sambro, why you register? Or teacher X, I got no choice but to say the track, Hega, Minangi license for album Yami for 2 years or 3 years. I'm to call, no exclusive licensing in a maximum 10 years, not 5 years in a price while. Good licensing and normally in a price in a duration.
Let's just keep it short.
Hola, Clive, DJ Bafana. Remember between 2004 and around 8, some of your former colleagues, let's not mention them, ne? You spoke about bootlegging and remixing. Explain it in the context involving Waterhouse Project.
What's Waterhouse Project?
Can I?
You don't remember Waterhouse Project?
All right,
I wouldn't be asking if I was.
Okay. Clive, can you be specific to say in 2006 DJ Oskido took my song
that
or
might
what?
Be helpful.
That will be much helpful for all of us.
Because I get lost. I'm trying to think so hard. 2004, that's almost 14 years ago.
Yeah.
So try be specific. I'd have no secrets, man. So spit it out.
Okay. You said remix is where maybe, for instance, I take Ngomaga, Jay-Z, and then I credit him or I pay him to use his song or remix it, right?
No, that's not remixing. That's ghost production. That's when I did a track. Yeah. Then Jay-Z comes in my studio and say, I want that track for my beats, for my album. Then he buys it. I lay some vocals. To remix, it's when you take that track and you do your own vision of it. So let's be specific.
Okay, I think you are getting lost now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Maybe you should tell me your story and then
remember about time after time.
Time after time. The Conphonic times.
More or less something like that.
Yes.
But remember they released vinyls back then. The white labels.
Yes. The whites and the blues and the reds. Yes.
All of those, yeah.
Yes.
So hence I was asking that Waterhouse project. You remember there was issues around there to say who's behind that and all of that.
Yes.
People were deleting the music in their systems because this and that. So just differentiate bootlegging and official remixing of some using it legally.
So that in context, let's get to that. Especially the time after time track, Cyndi Lauper. It was done by a kid, Wakotu Maholo in Velcom. How it got to Soulcandi was through Euphonic, you know? And it gets there, and the guys were excited, you know? And they firstly went to go check in terms of publishing if whoever covered that, and they know that that person didn't. So what they did a cover. So they got someone to replay and re-sing. If you listen to that track, that's not Cyndi Lauper's track. That's not Time After Time as it is. It was remade. So it's called now a cover. So you have licensing rights on a cover. Cyndi Lauper's publishers can give you that as long as you replayed it. So it was done as a cover. And that's how we could press that album. Now the ones that came with dispute are the ones that guys were sampling. So instead of replaying it, we have a record like that. You're absolutely right. It was deleted. We were penalized heavy for it. I'm not going to talk how much. Okay. So it's when you remix something and then when you replay something, Mara remix as if like we replay it. Then you release it. Then the owner finds out. Then
I'm glad that we got to the bottom of that. But I can tell you there's still more meat on that plate. I can tell there's more meat on that plate. Guys, thank you so much, Clive. We just wanted to make sure we get this whole thing. My brother, you will die one day, maybe today at 4 o'clock. Touch wood. Don't die with all of that in your chest.
Can I just say something, guys, to that? I really understand that sentiment and I get it. I live it. For example, when Ghost Production started, it was discussed on the table. It was a round table. I'm talking under the Soulcandi aspect. So you have this bunch of DJs. They've been doing compilations. Hey, I'm a compilation Sour Pume styling. You know, I'm not gonna mention name, guys, unfortunately, and I mean because I'm part of the game. So decisions get to be made. Let's say DJ X and Y and Z at this time they're the big sellers of Soulcandi, Baroka, but they don't know how to make music. You know, so what do? We go around and look for producers that make music. You know, Clock was a very good example. We took Clock before he did his first album, Nati, and he made a couple of tracks for very known DJs. You know, got paid for what he was doing. But the bitter part about that is when you see your song as DJ Clock winning an award and it's not you. You know? And that is sad. But that was a phenomenon. That was fashionable at the time. That's why I'm going to about DJ compilations. I'm a producer. You know? Now the thing is that thing surfaces. Now people that get robbed, then it starts becoming a rhetoric. It starts becoming social commentary. How do we get into those discussions? First, you need to know how did a person land there. Because sometimes you want to defend someone. So it's just that in our context, how do we remedy it so that it benefits the right people? It still happens today.
All right.
Today.
Let's wrap it at that with you, Clive. And if you need to contact Clive, he's still going to be sitting here. I'm sure he's giving us all his time. Buhle, we give you the stage. Come here. Let's have an engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DJ Buhle. Note this, I didn't say female DJ Buhle. I said DJ Buhle. She's one of the pioneers of this deep house that we get to hear about all the time. I'm still yet to find out what it is. Anyway, Buhle, before we open the floor to the people, we are here as an inspiration, as a mirror for all the DJs to look at themselves. There's Fisher Fasha here. You know there's no DJ, quite a DJ like him. Yeah, he's an award winner as well. But you are here. I just need to find out from you quickly. Why Buhle? You are a twin, right?
Yes, I'm a twin. Yes, guys. Okay.
Una twin sister, Buhle. But, okay, fast forward. You jump out of your mother's womb and then you say, hey, I'm Buhle, I want to be a DJ. What does your sister do?
She works a normal 9 to 5.
You think she's normal?
Yeah, she's normal because I'm abnormal.
Was she here when I spoke about it? I said it earlier to say, you being a DJ, you're not normal because you hear things that people don't hear. Ubabona unokubay DJ ube charge at the same time when you DJ adlala uthi you ngabe sengifake so. You and leso sikhathi ne abantu bala bonke. You are the only one who's not dancing. Because uthi yo. And so borekile manje because lo muntu akayenzi lento oyifunayo. And it's not about you. I do that as well, I'm a DJ. And uyabaza abo shizem DJ abangeza ukuzokubuza abathi besingaveli akeze ukuzokubuza because akakubulisanga amabuzo odlala anyway. But Buhle, back to you. What made you to be a DJ? We're trying to paint a picture about you to get to where you are today.
Okay. Look, cliche, obviously. My granddad Nanandi records back then, and then obviously because of the situation, it was not a very nice situation to be in. So music, you could say, it saved my life. I opted to go the music route because like a song, it's in Susala in so I could have been maybe a prostitute right now, but I opted to do music.
It was what I'm saying. All right, Buhle, you are from a home, growing up. Guys, I just want to paint this picture. Don't mind me. This is the radio person talking. Who is at home with Buhle? Because of course it's you and your twin sister. Who is at home? And Umalume is there. There's records and all that. Who is at home? What home is this that makes you decide for me to escape?
My home,
Yeah.
Kneeling, the situation was I go to school, I come back, and then I'll go to his bedroom, get connected, turntable, and then listen to the LP die. And then as time went on, because I remember I was 15 at that time, no lalak, some show on TV, una lebo tops, lebo lady Leah and them. And then I was watching it, and it was a Friday night. And while we're sitting there, I'm looking at tops and them. I'm like, okay, these people, what exactly are they doing? Because nobody got a compilation. So I look at my granddad and I'm like, Ish, Dapol. I used to call him Dapol. Ish, Dapol, you know what? I think I want to do this. Because I remember about like it's IT. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to DJ. I want to get into the music industry. I don't know, no, you're not going to do that because what will exploit about, you understand? And I was like, okay, sharp. Maybe for now, you understand? It's only until I was 21, guys, when I started DJing. And this is after I went and I studied IT because I took Kebale, and then I flunked. And then, it's let me go into TV, radio presenting and drama, and then did film and documentary making. And then that's when my granddad was like, okay, now I feel like you're emotionally mature, or mature enough for the industry. So that's basically it, guys.
Your first gig? Your first paying gig?
I started in 2004 September. My first gig was in January 2005. Go Uncle Tom's. And I was playing vinyl. I remember it was sponsored by Brutal Fruit. My granddad and my cousins were there, and Nikilala the whole 2 hours.
That's all.
And they were sitting there just having their Brutal Fruit, and they're like, go for it, Lily. You can do it. You can do it. Just do it. And then from there, I never looked back.
Guys, this is such heartwarming. You don't have to be from a rich family to be okay later. You are responsible for where you're going. And in this industry that we are in, I mean, we used to DJ Cameron Legawex. Your mom had a lot of patience because we would come in or two, and then we've got, hey, I'm fun. We've got that. I'm fun. I know. Then we'd start. We connect again. Get to your disconnector somewhere and play. And you as a lady, your challenges now that you are, okay, Buhle before winning the award.
From day one, the challenges have been the same. Until now, I started meeting people aware. Look, I'm not going to take your shit. You understand that?
The language is allowed, guys.
Sorry.
No, it's allowed. My boy was here, it was worse.
Okay. I think another thing is the reason why more industry, a lot of females don't have staying power is because Temba is my brother, Otlombo, Kabekira, sure, Temba, I'm 500 petrol. I can't do that. I need to teach Temba as my brother. Installment, pay me my full amount. So that the next person it's easy for me to say with a straight face, okay, homeboy, I charge 5K. If you can't make it, or we understand that. So that was the one challenge. And then another challenge with regards to how I dress. I could have been that girl up around the bum shorts and I've got a cute body, guys.
Yeah, man. How should I turn around, guy?
I guys. Oh, so because of the fact that Nikon of baggy jeans and a baggy t-shirt and a cap, and a guy would actually overlook that and say, "Hey, wait a king, hey, it would annoy me." So I changed my dress code until such a time as well. Big feet like you're attacking. I look back on some. I'm not saying I shouldn't be looked at that way, but I don't want to feel like I'm a piece of meat. I feel like and a little as promoters, you shouldn't make a woman feel that way, because what happens in the long run? And then what?
You know, one thing I like about this industry that we are in as DJs, okay, except for radio, of course.
Yeah.
We can drink on the job. We can smoke on the job. We can swear on the job. Can you imagine me when I do TV or I do radio, and then they say cut? I'm like, fuck. Okay, let's do that again, especially from the sports side, because I have to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the Soweto Derby is coming up in a few minutes right now. We're just going to cross back to the studio so that they can link us on the ads. Exactly. And they say, Padanga Kaiti, man. Afutek, man, how? And then I have to come. But when you're a DJ, you're on set. So and then you still have to maintain being a lady, right?
And then you get people like that video that was trending, yeah, that go like Unako Papian. I'm still flabbergasted, then but that's basically Buhle on a normal director.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours. Any engagement, 10 minutes with Buhle, because I can go on. I can, yeah. You know, Gutu Buhle. Yeah, she doesn't talk much. She only talks here.
What I wanted to ask, because I know Utemba mentioned Uti, there's different types of DJs. The ones that are full-time, the ones that are corporate, like 9 to 5, as well as a DJ on the side, no?
Yeah.
As well as Lababai Tola as or Abaibona as a hobby. So if, for instance, I just happened, by the way, to just be doing this recently full-time.
Yeah.
All right, so how would you advise someone, for instance, I know you've been there, let's not mention which company, ne? So someone who's in a transition process, moving from corporate, doing both corporate as well as the DJ stuff, and how do they then take a decision to jump into the business side, doing a DJing full-time, meaning now you are full-time self-employed. Okay. You understand? What are the challenges, what to look out for out there versus the comfortable salary you're receiving, go corporate and all of those things?
Even in everything that you do, Bafana, you need to be mentally strong and be passionate about what you're doing. I remember when I left my job, which was 4 years ago, go FNB, I just had my tempo, you know. But because at that point I wasn't spending enough time in Longanaka, and on weekends I'm gigging, I decided, no, I'm going to leave my job and be with my child, you understand, and do gigs full time. And because I've always been passionate about what I'm doing, I mean, I just recently bought another car, guys, because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, you understand. So you need to be sure about leaving your 9 to 5. I get us all comfortable. And remember, Rona Banyana, mentality of Rona is different from Majita. When I can swallow you, it can get you depressed. Okay, I'm not getting gigs. So understand. So you need to be really, really sure and understand. No one is coming to save you at the end of the day. Decision, you must be able to live with those consequences that they make. Because for every action, there's a reaction. So what worked for me might not work for you at the end of the day. So you need to be sure so that you know in the next 5 years, okay, I've managed to save up mine. When I lay on a funeral cover, police in Tonyana Tejalo, understand that. If you don't have cash or trying to do little thing, one okay. When are you okay spiritually? Are you okay mentally? Are you okay? I understand that in general. Because one thing I know about this industry, it can destroy you just like that. Every weekend you go out, there's 4 or 5 challenges that you face, depending on how many gigs that you have. And then if you don't have an outlet, on Mondays or whenever, hey, wait again, I challenged this and that. You carry that on to the next weekend, and then and you're asking yourself, why Why It's because Azange take care of my mental health because I felt at that time, I don't have the time to keep busy. No. So now you have to decide. Are you passionate about what you're doing? Are you sure you want to go there? If you are not sure, do not do it. Because you either do it with love and passion or you don't do it at all. Next question.
Nembuze 2.
Yeah.
1. What's your opinion on South Africa's media? That's 1. Then 2. Did any media outlets play any role in where you are at the moment?
To be honest, I don't know, these media houses, they're looking at influencers, if you want to put it that way. These celebs, you know. I can't remember at any given time in my career where I was approached by Daily Sun or all these media houses for we want to do an insert on DJ Buhle. It's always my friends, bannerling like these blogs and vlogs and stuff, understand? I won an award. I'm not saying they were supposed to be singing my praises and saying, say this. But not even one of them was like, okay, Wanako Soweto, okay, Remo catapulting Rembeng on another level. You understand? So there's still a lot that needs to be done in the industry, in the media industry, to be precise, I understand that. Because even now, I work for a radio station on weekends. Those people are not even aware that I was campaigning for votes or even I won the award. They only found out on last week, Thursday. No, actually, Buhle is an award-winning DJ. Now they start treating me different. Oh, Buhle, what do you want? Already my mind is made up. Guys, I can't the conflicts. You understand?
There you
So
go.
the award shouldn't define okay, I'm still the same Buhle, guys. I'm still getting people how do I feel right now? You're an award-winning Buhle. And I'm like, okay, guys, how am I supposed to feel? It's an accolade, yes. I'm doing something right. Thank you, I appreciate that. But do not define me, or I won an award, or you think, or no, guys, please, no, it's not like that. Next question.
Yeah, do it.
Thank you for taking my question. Well, I mean, before I ask a question, I'm going to make a statement, and to all of us, and you know, most probably in your defense, guys, winning awards and getting compilation platinum discs and gold discs are accolades. Can we stop, please, treating people differently? We need to respect people before they win awards. We need to respect people. We need to respect people as artists for what they do. Lento le celebrity states has to follow that. It's derailing us. That simply means we're not acknowledging even people next to us as capable until they win awards. So can we stop that? It's a bit cheesy. Buhle, gender issues. Are they still as rife for you? I mean, I know in Soweto they've been rife. I know across the country they are rife, but I want to know from you, are they still rife, and how do you tackle them? I've got 2 questions. If you can answer first, I'm on this.
Okay, remember I did the Mix Mag gig, right? And it was a huge platform, guys. Budweiser, I mean, I was rated top 3 South African rising stars with Dakapo and Seth, I think. Okay, I played there. And then questions started coming up from big guns, people that I look up to, you know. Who is this girl? Why is she even playing here? You know, and I was excluded from very important things as well because I'm this girl that they don't know and who took the spotlight from them, who understand it. So that whole gender thing, it's still here, and I think it's going to be here for the longest of time. You know, it's going to be here for the longest of time. And it, you know, it's careless of that guy, because I know all of us look up to that guy. I won't mention names. It's careless of that guy to actually put me in that position. But at the same time, I'm saying thank you for challenging me. Now, get over now. We understand.
Okay,
Now I'm answering you.
I guess, I mean, my second question was going to be, do you personally feel that female DJs are as competitive towards men? Because, I mean, apart from the norm, there are female DJs, of which I've never looked at. I've always looked at the capability of a DJ. So before I can even look at your color, sex, age, it will be like, can you do this? So do you think female DJs generally, and I need you to be honest on this and take yourself out of the situation, because are they as competitive?
I'm going to be brutally honest. Brutally honest. I sit and I watch, and then I learn and I teach from certain female DJs, right? And I've picked up all of them, problem E1. It's no longer about passion now. It's all about hunger. Let me try and explain it. Passion means you're looking at yourself 5 years from now and you're like, I'm gonna persevere, I'm gonna. Hunger means you're looking at Buhle's lane. You're like, Buhle gema. You go behind my back, you try and do A, B, C, D, you go sleep with people, you fall pregnant, you can't even come back anymore. You make excuses for having to go to gigs. I want to transport, but you've got friends transport. You don't take yourself seriously. We understand. So because when I was how are you gonna tackle the next person? We understand. So girls need to be passionate about what they're doing. Not just girls in general. All of us, guys. All of us. But because now I'm a woman and I've seen it happen, girls are no longer passionate. Say, I saw Snangman doing it and a lot of Hanyok is doing it, so I want to do it as well. No, guys, you can't do that. You are setting yourselves back. Because while you're sitting there comparing yourself to Lady P, who gigs every freaking weekend. I don't know if you guys are aware, Lady P plays every weekend. She plays every weekend. Hana Dipu, Hana Larata, because she's passionate about what she's doing.
Hi, Buhle.
Hello.
Ki Elisa.
Okay.
So, I'm just curious, ne? When you started out, obviously when you start out, you are finding your feet, you are trying to get to know the kind of a DJ that you are, so that's brand awareness as well. How did you overcome, when you're starting out, obviously nobody knows you yet, so your job is to make sure that you put yourself out there. But also that means you still need to get paid, right? How did you overcome getting those gigs that will take you to the next level, but they still didn't pay you, or they just short paid you?
Yeah. Okay. When I started playing, I was taught by Slaga, right? Who used to chill level China level Mbuso and them. And from that day, because I'd already seen a game, okay, now I wanna play deep house. Man, I see all these DJs badala disco, badala funk, naki batla sound. Fine. Then keep another conversation about what you're asking. Hey, okay, sharp niki sebet at that time. So Nixie really that interested for badala or
right.
Mbuso, okay, nzenza kanjani ukuthi vele abantu like bangibheke, like bangbone ukuthi I'm here, without you guys being in the forefront holding my hand. Busare Buhle is simple. You have access to iPhezulu records. You have access to what you have access to this Yenzama mix. Right?
Okay.
Ulama gig lawas banawo ma annual what. Come and play a set. We understand. At times kitsama lebo Mbuso ki champile lebo takotlu at 2 a.m. Ki now reme mo le Mbuso one first Buhle play with me. Just so people can see who there's this girl who understand. So from there until where I'm at Wanachi, it's always been about the mixes, how I portray myself as well. And also, even, I'm not gonna, I kid you not, guys, I shit you not. Till today, there are also big DJs that still take gigs to Sapataling. You know that, right?
Sure.
And we call those profiling gigs.
Okay.
Mix Mag, for me, was a profiling gig. Okay. We understand that, because it was, Mojosi and it's jwala. So you take profiling gigs as well. And I don't know why sheba gore. Okay, ke le Buhle ke le so. Ke batla go dlala ko Tomorrowland next year. So if Mbusa ka re ke tlo dlala, okay man, Black Coffee re ke tlo dlala ko Deep in the City. Do I go? Oh hell yeah, ke tlo ya ko Deep in the City because I want people to see me. I understand for okay. Una le potential ngwanyana because now if there's one thing guys and get gore every time I go and play and get like na le staying power is because I never treat myself like I know it all. Right. Sometimes ke le ngwana blind in this industry. Hence I even said look interview me ka maobane gore guys okay sharp giving an award but I've written it off. I'm starting from scratch. With every milestone yaka I start from scratch ke ba ngwana okay what do I do now? How do I do it? How do I so if like go wena gore okay wena we can say so if but I associate yourself with the gigs. You do profiling gigs. A profiling gig doesn't have to be when the whole month to busy with the profiling gig. No. And once in every 6 months, so she below okay, okay, then you'll take a profiling gig. What's about profiling gig? Here's the nice thing. When you make sure when you get there you play your heart out. You are guaranteed for 2 or 3 people but will come from that gig. That's how you make your money.